Can Ripple, or more specifically XRP, still make you a millionaire by investing in the cryptocurrency? Driven by its strong community called the XRP Army, this crypto is probably the most divisive in the whole space. Those who love it pledge their undying and unwavering faith. Those who hate it refer to it as the banker coin that's against everything crypto should stand for. In 2017, the XRP lovers were certainly in control as the price shot straight up over $3. But ever since then, XRP's not been able to regain much momentum. Will that change in 2020, or will we just see more of the same sideways action? Today, we're going to do a deep dive into Ripple to find out. Let's get it. Welcome to BitBoyCrypto. If you would like daily crypto videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you would like to learn more about crypto or trading, then please make sure to join one or both of my Telegram chats, the Bit Squad or Bit Squad Traders. Today, we will be talking about Ripple and whether or not investing in XRP can still make you rich. So let's start with what Ripple is. Ripple is a real-time gross settlement system, currency exchange, and remittance network created by Ripple Labs, Inc., a US-based technology company. Ripple is set out with some high goals in mind, which are mainly to root itself into banks for money transfers. That goal has largely been achieved over the years, with Ripple sporting partnerships with banks in 40 countries across 6 continents. Additionally, with over 300 plus financial institutions for RippleNet. To put that into perspective for you, about a third of the world's 100 largest banks in terms of assets have tested or are already using Ripple's cross-border payment technology. An overview of XRPRK.com shows that more than a third of the largest banks are piloting Ripple's technology or are already using them in normal business operations. There is a catch, however. Not all banks use or test the latest payment technology, on-demand liquidity, formerly known as XRapid, but rely on RippleNet, which does not use the XRP token. Although many banks and partners have announced long-term plans to switch to the new technology in the future, so that's encouraging. Some of Ripple's biggest partnerships include the following banks or payment providers you can see here. For a broader list, see the breakdown by its blockchain. What's more, the official Monetary and Financial Institutions Forum put out a PDF in May 2020 titled The Role of Blockchain in Banking, mentioning Ripple and XRP several times. The official Monetary and Financial Institutions Forum is an independent forum for central banking, economic policy, and public investment. In this consultation paper, OMFIF and CCBU investigate the effects of blockchain and distributed ledger technology on financial institutions' business models. The study focuses on the motivations underpinning financial institutions' decision to adopt blockchain, their participation in consortia, groups of companies collaborating to develop common objectives and standards for blockchain and DLT, and the critical practices and lessons they've learned so far. It's based on in-depth interviews with representatives of major global banks and financial technology companies. The people we spoke to are innovation officers and managers responsible for deploying a practical blockchain and DLT use cases in areas like cross-border payments, trade, finance, and foreign exchange settlement. OMFIF and CCBU engage with experts representing other diverse perspectives and sectors, including fintech and technology providers from the blockchain and DLT industry. Analysis of financial technology regulation and public policy papers complements our research. Back here in the United States, Brian Brooks, the former head of Coinbase's legal department, was recently appointed head of the U.S. Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. Brooks expressed in his first official acts he considers blockchain technology as a game changer and considers Bitcoin, Ether, and XRP in particular as problem solvers. So what is the OCC and why is this bullish for cryptocurrency as well as XRP? The OCC's office is an independent office within the U.S. Department of the Treasury that serves to regulate and audit all national banks and savings banks, as well as the federally licensed branches and agencies of foreign banks. This means that Brooks now heads the federal authority responsible for the largest banks in the USA. As Brooks made clear in an interview with Forbes, he could shake up the U.S. financial world completely and give adoption of blockchain an extraordinary boost. In the interview, Brooks promoted blockchain technology as a potential game changer for the banking industry. He explained the potential of blockchain and crypto as follows. Blockchain has potential to connect up in a decentralized network all kinds of data. It has the ability to create large, friction-free, decentralized networks of people. There is a huge and great promise in blockchain and crypto. Brooks himself specifically referred to 3 cryptocurrencies as prime examples of the potential of blockchain and financial technology. Forbes noted, interestingly, he's looking for decentralized networks in general. He cited Bitcoin, Ether, and XRP in particular to solve many of the problems hindering more than 1,000 financial institutions under his purview. Of course, a lot of people don't consider XRP to be decentralized, but apparently Brooks does. Further, if that didn't get the bulls going, Brooks stated in his regulation proposal on June 2nd that he advocates a revision of the existing regulations on digital assets of banks. In particular, Brooks also expressed concern about the ancient methods used by banks to transfer money. It takes 3 days if you're trying to send money from the US to Europe on the SWIFT network. Your money is at risk during this period, and even when the money is transmitted, foreign exchange fees are incurred. But a digital representation of value on both sides of the transaction can eliminate that friction and those costs, Brooks wrote. Now, reading this may sound very much like Ripple's technology. However, that's pure speculation, of course, assuming it. But it wouldn't be a shock if XRP was boosted in such a way due to his own comments mentioning XRP. And I mean, the truth is that it's so insane that we have someone like Brian Brooks in charge of regulating banks, someone from cryptocurrency. It's almost like having a fox in the henhouse. But there's much more information to go over here if we keep digging in deep. So it turns out in May, America's Consumer Financial Protection Bureau gave Ripple approval for its use in cross-border money transfers. According to a report recently published by America's Consumer Financial, the Protection Bureau has been researching new developments in the remittance market, including trends related to digital currencies. U.S. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which plays a major role in protecting America's consumers in the financial sector, wrote on the continued growth and expanding partnerships of companies such as Ripple. The report also noted the use of Ripple for settlement of cross-border money transfers. The Bureau has continued to monitor the continued growth and expanding partnerships of virtual currency companies such as Ripple, which offer both a payment messaging platform to support cross-border money transfers as well as a virtual currency, XRP, which can be used to effect a settlement of those transfers. Okay, so what about the technology and protocol updates? Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm always willing to talk. A new proposal specification for Ripple software developers is actually proposed allowing users to send private transactions to one another using the XRP ledger. Beyond that, another proposal for XRP wants to enable smart contracts. Although the tech hasn't been released into the production version of Ripple yet, it's a glimpse into the future and where XRP is going. So what are some price predictions for the Ripple coin, XRP, and what could be the game changer for the banker coin? In December of 2017, XRP prices rose 84% in a day from 27 cents to 51 cents. In the weeks that followed, records continued being broken. After breaking the $1 barrier, XRP ended the year at $2.30, a whopping 38,000% increase of its price from the start of 2017. The bull run continued into the first week of January 2018 when prices hit $3.40. What a time to be alive. Then the bear crash happened. That's saying the ultimate all-time high for XRP was $3.40, which is yet to be regained, of course. Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple, has big future predictions for Ripple. Garlinghouse predicts that Ripple might become the Amazon of the crypto industry by 2025. Garlinghouse is playing the safe, long-term game. In a 2018 interview, he reminded listeners that anyone investing in XRP as opposed to trading it should consider thinking in months and years, not in days. Brad Garlinghouse also stressed the importance of cooperating with governments and banks as opposed to the freebooter, regulation-dodging spirit of Bitcoin. And he might be onto something here. Ripple has previously thrived during the bear market periods when other blockchain projects went under. However, some analysts are a lot less optimistic. The market analysts at Trading Beasts don't expect a price over 60 cents for the next 5 years. And I can tell you one thing, if that happens, there's a good chance a lot of the XRP army walk hand in hand off a cliff like lemmings. But some outlets are much more bullish. Smartarium is a Houston and Silicon Valley based news site founded in 2017. It reports news, analysis, and information about blockchain tech, including cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and of course, Ripple's XRP. This is what they had to say. Many experts have been reluctant to make a Ripple price prediction higher than $500 a coin. However, this seems to have changed, with usually conservative experts now suggesting that XRP could reach up to $1,000 a coin in a few years' time. That was Andreas Kaplan. The news website had even more bullish predictions for XRP, although one of them's already been shot down. For their 2020 XRP price prediction, Analysts predicted prices of up to $10 to $15 per XRP by the start of 2020, but this did not prove to be the case. You can tell from the tears from the XRP army. For 2021, they noted that even conservative experts were suggesting XRP could reach up to $1,000 a coin. Projecting a little further down the road to 2030, the feature reported projections that Ripple's value could go up to $200 to $300. The price of Ripple could certainly rise in the long term as Ripple's payment and exchange facilitating technology becomes adopted and supported by powerful banks and financial institutions. But the bigger elephant in the room everyone is missing is the potential for private transactions. Now, this has been something the team has discussed but not confirmed. In addition, they also have smart contracts in development which have not been released yet. These two things combined make Ripple an absolute moonshot in the months and years to come. My personal thoughts on XRP are this. I hold a big bag of XRP, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. I will admit I've been very disappointed in it this year, as I thought it would really be able to regain some momentum, but it hasn't really come to fruition yet. But I'm still a believer that there is just too much money behind Ripple for this coin to ever fail. My personal price prediction for XRP is $16.15 by the end of the bull run, approximately August of 2021. But now it's your turn. What do you think about XRP? Do you think it will ever return to glory, or should the XRP army give up the ghost? Make sure to drop your comments and price predictions below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to become a member of the Bit Squad. Thank you so much for watching. Have a blessed day. BitBoy out.